Hello. It's been a really interesting start to this year in the markets. Not only have stocks suffered and dropped, bonds have also struggled as interest rates and yields start to go up. Hi, I'm Jim Dunlop, and I'm the managing partner at Advent Partners. I wanted to take another moment and address some of the concerns we're seeing in the markets right now. There's some good news in the markets, but unfortunately, it's getting overshadowed. And you've probably heard me say before, markets don't like uncertainty, and we have a lot of uncertainty right now. So let's put a little perspective on it. First of all, the thing that's creating the most uncertainty right now, of course, is inflation. It's not transitory, it's here. Prices have gone up significantly over the last year, and inflation rates are beyond what we've seen in nearly 40 years. The Federal Reserve is likely to take action here in the weeks ahead and raise rates. Historically, in the time frame leading up to a rate increase, markets have been very volatile, and we're certainly seeing that pattern right now. However, following a rate increase, markets tend to stabilize. Now, there's no promise that that will happen now, but that's a typical pattern. We go from a place of uncertainty around what the Fed will do to a place of certainty, and markets tend to settle down in the face of certainty. The other thing that caused a lot of uncertainty at the beginning of the year was the rapid spread in December and January over COVID. However, the news is pretty good on that front. We are down 90% from the peak in terms of new cases here in this country, and that is a trend we hope will continue as people recover and do better. And then finally, I think causing a lot of uncertainty right now is what could happen in Ukraine. Russia is starting to move troops into certain parts of Ukraine. It's not necessarily a full on invasion at this moment, but that could happen. That has the propensity to make oil prices go higher as different parts of the world figure out where they're going to get their energy sources, particularly if Russia takes military action against Ukraine and we impose sanctions. This is all uncertainty, and we faced even greater uncertainty 2 years ago at this time, and we recovered. And there's no promise that we'll recover quickly. However, markets are cyclical, and we're kind of flirting and on the borderline of a correction, depending on how you define it. Historically, we've said a correction is when stocks are down 10% from their highs. Certainly, there's certain indices like the NASDAQ that are more than 10% down, and others that are very, very close to that. We keep in mind, though, that stocks are long term growth vehicles. And bonds, while we use them for income and for some short term investments, are also important parts of a long term portfolio. And this period of volatility will settle out and things will recover. And we don't always have the luxury of knowing when, but we try to build our portfolios and our strategies for clients to make sure that we have time to ride out storms. And this is a pretty rough storm right now. We're almost 2 months into this storm, and it may last a little longer and it may end quickly. We just don't know. But it's keep in mind that the last 5 years have been very good in the stock market, even including the dramatic sell off that we saw at the beginning of the COVID outbreak and the subsequent recovery. So stay focused on the long term. We're here to help. We want to be available to our clients and to remind them of the long term nature of stocks. We've been blessed since 2009, really, with a pretty stable stock market. And it won't always be that good. We won't always have 13 years in a row of really good returns, but we are really still focused on the long term, and we're waiting for a little more certainty to come into markets right now. We thank you for your patience, and we really invite any conversation that you want to have with our team if you're concerned about how it relates to what's going on in your portfolio. We're really excited and pleased about how well things did last year, and we're a little anxious right now about where things are now. But we've got a long road ahead of us, and as things start to become more clear focus for the markets will typically tend to reduce their volatility. Thank you for tuning in, and have a great day.